Katie Robison's fiance lost his dad, and they had some questionable occurrences in their home and can't figure out the message. His name is Joel. So I thought for this one, with it being questionable occurrences, as you would say, I thought we'd use these Konxari cards, I call them. The word Konxar means talking to the dad. It's Egyptian for talking to the dad, and I thought we'd just open this box and just get them out, and just and basically it's a bit like a Ouija board in the sense of there are photographs, the letters, numbers and photographs and keywords and symbols and things. So I suppose you could call it Ouija plus, but when you use Konxari, of course, we put the Ouija board away. So really we've got to ask for Joel to be present and to place his energy in the Konxari cards, and then we can deal them out and see what's going on. So as we do this, we'll just we'll ask, Spirit of Joel, we ask for your presence. Commune with us, Joel, through these cards and move among us. Spirit of Joel, we ask for your presence. Commune with us, Joel, through these cards and move among us. Spirit of Joel, we ask for your presence. Commune with us, Joel, through these cards and move among us. Blessed be to Joel and all absent friends. And we cut the deck like so, and where the deck splits is where it is thought to be at its most energetic point, as you would say, at its strongest. What we're now going to do is deal the cards out in a, I suppose, a bit like a compass sort of configuration, isn't it? We'll just so you can you just see, can you just about see that there? I'll just place them here, and then you can just see what's going on. We place two in the middle like this. I'll just place them together temporarily, and I'll show you why in just a moment. Those two there. I'll just show them. We can neaten them up later. That's just a temporary measure, and then we do those four, and then we do some around the edge here. So there's 12 cards in all, isn't there? There's 4. Then we go around in like a circle of 5, 6, 7, 8. So 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Right. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Sorry about that. 10, 11. Sorry about that. It's me. Don't worry, don't panic. It's something in the coffee. We can discard the rest of the deck, but before we do, we have to do just something very important here with the Konxari cards. These here, you've got the north, the south, the east, and the west, and we have to remove those cards. We're not to see those cards. We can leave them in, but when we flip them, we're not supposed to see. When we flip the cards, all of them, we're not supposed to see these cards. Never look at these cards. If you want to look at them, don't. And we do this out of respect for spirit. It's done, in this case, out of respect for Joel. Now, instead of leaving them in, sometimes we'll just for safety's sake, we'll remove them completely, and then we can't accidentally see them later or flip them accidentally, whatever later. And then we just place them under the deck, make sure we don't see them there, and then we move the remainder of the cards to the side over there. We have got some mediumship cards here as well that we may consult, probably see if Joel has a message there. I suppose we could just give them a quick shuffle now, and then just see if he's got an actual message. So you could say they're they could call them conversation cards, couldn't you? In the sense of each card has a pre-written message on it, and so again we'd say, Spirit of Joel, we ask for your presence, and whilst you're present now, we ask that you commune with us through these cards as well. If there's a message for Katie there, commune with us through these cards and move among us. Spirit of Joel, we ask that you fill these cards with your essence. Commune with us through these cards and move among us. Spirit of Joel, we ask for your presence, that you commune with us through these cards and move among us. Blessed be to Joel and all absent friends. And now we've got the mediumship cards, and we'll take a look at those in just a moment. Well, I'll just place them over here just for now, and that'll be just something in addition to the message that Joel may be trying to sort of convey here. Now, of course, I'd mentioned earlier on that these two cards here, the reason being is because there's no space for the north, south, and these two cards there, so we can move them outward. Look, if you see what I mean. And then we've got like a neat cross. I suppose you could say it's a bit like a compass, isn't it, in a way, or a clock face. But it does tend to refer to directions, strangely enough. Now, of course, we have to remember which way the cards were dealt, don't we? In which order they were dealt. And of course, the main thing, of course, that we've got right now, of course, is a nice, just a nice hot cup of coffee there. So that'll just help us on the way. And of course, Joel, who is with us as well. We can now welcome Joel as he's left his energy with us there. We welcome you, Joel, to our sitting. We thank you for your time. We thank you for your energy. And we're looking forward to the message that you have for us, for Katie, about the reason I'm using these cards is because Joel can actually speak and just say just a bit more than the usual. These tend to, you'll see as we move as we move through them, as we deal them, you'll see what exactly is going on. So Joel, what's the first thing? I suppose we go by how we feel, of course, and whatever. So the first card is this one here, isn't it? That we deal. Now, of course, at this stage, I have to take off my ordinary going around spectacles, as you would say, and place my reading spectacles on there, so I can see what's going on just a bit clearer. Let's get the first card here, and we'll just flip it over. Now, nice and slow, not to disturb the energy, and we'll just see what this card is. And there, as you can see, age. I don't know if we can just see that there. Just to show you that there. That's it. That's the card. And we've got the number 9 and some other sort of alchemy type symbols there. So we'll just place that exactly as it was flipped there. Of course, with it being, I suppose, the sort of centre, one of the 4 in the centre cards, as you would say, it tends to focus on, I suppose it could be something prominent, but certainly age had a lot to do with it for some strange reason or other. Well, of course, it was his father, so getting on a bit, I would assume. But usually, ever since, you say, some strange occurrences have taken place. Of course, we can't assume that that's anything to do with age, but certainly if age makes us wiser, then who knows? We don't seem to have much to go on at the moment, do we, in solving the mystery? I suppose you could really call these cards mystery solving type cards in the sense that they're usually used on ghost hunts, where you don't even know the name of the spirit usually, but it gives you the idea of how they died and so forth. Well, let's just flip this card and let's just see what this one is, to see if this may bring some insight there. Possession, and the letter R. I don't know if you can just see that there. Possession and the letter R. So that's an interesting one, isn't it? Seems to focus at age, and it seems as though and we're sort of getting the sort of picture as though he was possessed in some way, but by what? Well, a lot of people assume that possession by evil spirits and things like that. But of course, it doesn't necessarily mean that. I suppose it can point toward like a mental illness or whatever. But I sort of get as though it's similar sort of thing to that, but it's more just the fact that there was something on his mind. There was something on his mind, something troubling him in some way, more troubled than possessed, as you would say. I don't know if that means anything to you. But I got this feeling as though Joel is saying that there was something always on his mind. It was something that was continually on his mind. And I wouldn't say drove him mad, but certainly he certainly gave him, like, you know, it bothered him. Let's just put it that way. I want to go on to the next card. I want to try and build it up a bit like Lego or Meccano or however you want to, whichever sort of construction thing you want to, connotation you want to place on it there. I want to just flip this card here, and I just want to see what this is all about. Let's just flip that nice and slow and just see what that's about. Yeah, that looks a bright card, doesn't it? What does that imply? Otherworldly, like a lightning symbol, isn't there? And the letter T. Otherworldly and the letter T. You can see that there. If that means anything. And we'll just place that. We'll just place that there. So it indicates, of course, with all these letters and numbers, as we were on about earlier, with it being sort of a Ouija boardish, there's such a thing. With there being these letters and numbers, at the end, when we've finished, we can lay them in a row and see if there's like a hidden message from Joel. If you can work, like an anagram game, I suppose you could call it, couldn't you? But straight away we've got this age and possession and of course otherworldly, as if what is happening in your home, it's as if Joel is sort of pointing to, it's like as if something is bothering him. It could have had something to do with his age. It could have been, I don't know. We have to sort of try and find a connection, unless these other cards connect a bit later on and vibrate with it later on. But immediately I'm sort of more locking onto these two here, with the fact there's something on his mind and it's otherworldly, and it's as if the things that are happening in your home, he's saying is otherworldly. It is something that well, I don't know about to be concerned about, but certainly just to be reassured that it's him. If you understand what I mean. I want to just see though what else has come out, because it doesn't seem as if there's much information. I would assume that you may have guessed a lot of this. We've only just started really, but I would assume you've guessed a lot of it. In that sort of sense that well, I don't know, can you see these cards or not? Because if you can't, what we'll do is I'll just bring them along here. We'll just move them along a bit there, and then you can just so you can see them really, because it seems a bit unfair if some of the cards here are not in view for you, so you can't see. I think you can see them a bit better now. Can't you see my hand? I'm just checking on the camera just to see that I can see my hand moving, and I can now. So it looks as though maybe you've got a bit of a chance of seeing what's going on. So sorry about that you didn't quite see all these cards here. So really we've just got the age thing. Something is bothering him and still bothering him in the other world, otherworldly things happening, as you can see there. I want to pull out this next card now, and I want to see what that's what that reveals, what energy that's got for it. Let's just see now, as we'll just get it there, as you can see, we'll just flip it nice and slow and see what that's about. You can see that there. Dream and the letter J. Maybe he speaks to you through dreams, or you've had a dream or something of that nature that locks on to that. That's the sort of thing we sort of get there with it. The fact that the things that go on is one thing, but I do get a sort of feeling as though if he isn't speaking to you through dreams, he's trying to, which I would assume I'm kind of sort of sensing as though the answer to this is in a dream. He will come to you in a dream. He may have already done so, but he's sort of saying, I'll come to you in a dream, Katie. From the other world, and I'll come to you in a dream and tell you. Maybe you've asked him many a time, in a sense you've prayed to him or whatever, if that's the sort of thing, that's the sort of way you want to look at it. I don't know. I'll just move the rest of the deck over here, just so we've got a bit more room, because we're going to deal some more cards out from somewhere else in a bit, aren't we? So now we've moved things along, we've just got this bit of space here that we can just park those there for now. But he's sort of saying as if I'll come to you in a dream. I want to pull out the next card here, which would be this one. Of course, it was the North, that one, then that one which isn't here, then that one which isn't that one, then the other one which isn't, and so on. And then the final. We'll move on to this next card and just see if there's any connections. I don't see him as I'm picking too much up, but it's certainly, he's saying, I do get that strong feeling as though he's saying he'll come to you in a dream. Let's just flip this card here and see what this is about. Love, that's the love. They've got a footprint and you've got like the letter T. I don't know if that means anything near there to you. Notice how there's text, an open book and a sort of symbol there going on. And that sort of indicates, doesn't it, I suppose, self-explanatory. With it being, I don't know if you can just see that there, with it being next to age and dream and love, it's as if it's pointing to like longevity, like love for a long time, and it's as if there's like a connection with those three, isn't there? How did you see how we linked those up? You could sort of link those three up, and now we're sort of linking these three up here. Maybe what's opposite or what's close to will give us a clue into what's going on there. But certainly with it being love, it seemed, I could sort of say, an expression of love. In your dream I will express my love to you. In a dream I'll tell you I love you, or I'll express something, maybe something I used to say to you when you know, something he used to say to you when he was on the earth plane, and he's sort of saying, I'll express my love in a dream. It won't be a nightmare or anything, it will be a nice dream. So that's not too bad, is it? But certainly the age is next to love, as if even though when I grew old, you loved me when I was old, and I loved you too. Regardless of my age, we still had. Why am I sort of thinking as though regardless of my age, that gets the better of all of us if we live long enough, I suppose. But regardless of my age, we have love, don't we? Which is eternal, and that's where I am now. Although I am bothered by something in the other worldly, I am communicating with you in some way. Nevertheless, it's the dreams where or the dream, I will come to you in a dream, and that's where I will provide you with the answer. Maybe if you keep a dream log or something. Well, I'm sort of focusing on the love card there, as you could call it. Looking onto the sort of text, as if to say, write something down. Write down your dreams. Do you see what I mean? The dream, write it down there, if you see what I mean. Why am I getting that? I want to pull out this card here now. I want to see what this is all about, because this will be interesting as well, won't it? We'll just flip it again, nice and slow, nice and steady, not to disturb the energy. And notice that he's focusing on the cellar for some reason or other. We've got another more alchemy symbols there. Also the letter R. So again, as as you know, we'll try and try and see if there's a message in the text or numbers or whatever you can find. You will know anyway what it is, won't you? And this is it's something about the cellar then, or something in a storage place down below, in a dark place down below. Of course, is that an actual cellar, in the sense of you can hear noises coming from down there, or is it a symbolic thing in the sense of a dark place down below? But the dream will be connected to that, and the possession is linked to it as well, isn't it? See how these three now are sort of connected in some way. And it's as though he's sort of saying there's something down there. I'm sort of saying there's something down there. Either there is, or there's something you found down there, or whatever. But there's something down there. I'm thinking like an old toy, or something. Like, I mean, I wouldn't say you store books and things down there, like old photographs or anything like that. You just store them away down there, but just stick them in there. But it's as if there's something down there that's bothering him, and it's that's bothering him. Now, I don't know if you'll find it, or if he'll give it to you in a dream. If you have had a dream about that, I don't know. I want to move on to the next card now to see what this is about, because now you see how everything's sort of panning out, or sort of connecting. Now we've got other bits to the construction, as you would say. It's coming together, isn't it? I want to just see what this is about here. And now this next card, it just says, it's just future. It's got like a clock on it, and various colour purple. It's just like a spiritual colour, isn't it? And the letter Z, or Z, as the Americans often call it, don't they? We call it Z here in the UK. And that's an interesting development, because we can sort of look at that card and sort of think, isn't it strange, the age and the time and the clock, the age, the otherworldly, and the time, the clock. Yes, as a measuring device, I suppose, a bit like money measures wealth, or a ruler measures length. Nevertheless, why am I sort of thinking as though he's saying, I don't know, you haven't got much time, I don't know, otherworldly. First I'm sort of thinking you're working against the clock, and yet other times he's at the age, the age is there, so he's got plenty of time at the same time. But remember, Konxari doesn't read you, Katie. This is not about your reading. This is Konxari does readings for them. Tarot cards and runes and oracle cards, other various oracles that we know, they do readings for us. But Konxari reads, it's his reading. This is Joel's reading, isn't it, Joel? And this is what you're trying to convey. But the future has something to do with otherworldly. It's as if he's saying he's having an effect on what goes on because of something in the future. He's in the past. Age is a sign of the past, and past, I suppose, longevity and love is always there in the past, the present and the future, because the past and the future are the same thing. It's just time that separates them, isn't it? And then think about time that separates you from the future, you in the now, or you in the past, or the now from the future. It's only time that separates you from that. When you think of it being opposite love, time and love, opposite the love there, I mean, sort of see if there may be a connection there, as if that's trying to say something in some way. It means sort of parallel, these two are parallel as well. Maybe there's something being said there. I mean, if you take a look at them now, maybe you can sort of see something there, if that helps. I don't know. But while I'm looking onto the clock, was he? I get a sort of feeling as though, I suppose we all do it, don't we? He was a bugger for looking at the clock. Oh, you know, you better hurry up. Yes, it's time for school, or yes, it's time, it's dinner time, or we'll be going in half an hour, or whatever. He was a bugger for looking at the clock. Well, I sort of get that sort of feel. And maybe you sort of said, if you look at that clock again, Dad, I think we can kill you. if you pardon the sort of expression. It's that sort of thing. But in the future, the clock will still tick in the future. And there is time, although I suppose this sort of reads for sort of like 20 past 4, doesn't it? In a few seconds or whatever. But although that maybe it was 4 o'clock and it will be 5 o'clock, but now it's 20 past 4. But in the future, it's like the 20 past 4 that's in the future, although it's 3 o'clock now, you know it'll be 20 past 4 because it was 20 past 4 yesterday. It'll come. And maybe that's the sort of thing, as though what's bothering him, there's not much time, go down there and see what it is, or find whatever it is, or whatever it is you found down there. There's not much time to deal with it, whatever it is. Either bury it with me, not bury it with me, but I don't know. I don't really. The Salah is the odd one out at the minute. Let's pull out the final card here, and let's just see if this brings us any joy, I suppose. You're a bit of a dark horse at the minute, Joel. We've got to work the mystery out. Maybe Katie knows, but I don't, so I'm sort of having to go by what? Oh, is this what I think it is? Boy. And we got like all other symbols there, and the letter A. Don't know if you can just see that there. Boy and the letter A. What's this all about, Katie? Do you remember when we were on about the Salah and I was on about him saying when he was a boy? Maybe that's got something to do with it. Salah, look how it's opposite the Salah card there. Look how the two are like one. It's as if something to do when he was a boy. He was down the Salah. Now, of course, one could assume, oh, well, he went down the Salah and he was scared of the dark, or somebody who was scared of the dark, he used to like frightening people, or whatever. But with it being next to the possession card there, I got a sort of feeling as though he was bothered about what's something down there. I'm sort of thinking of like a toy, maybe. On the photograph of the boy card, there's a rather disturbing where he's playing with bricks. You can't see the boy's face, but on the bricks it spells out devil. Is that the devil within? Of course, the devil within is the most negative side of oneself. It's the 666, isn't it? The most negative side of oneself. The ancient Egyptian interpretation of it sort of roughly is the human number, whatever you want to call it. But it sort of gives that feel as though there's something negative about this Salah. We're back to the Salah again, aren't we, Katie, with Joel? And if you don't mind, Joel, I don't know what you're trying to say, but it seems as though something about age, not just about boy and age. Boy is a young person and age involves an old person, but there's love from boy to man to old man, whatever. Either way, it's otherworldly, things move on and he can speak to you through a dream. Although we're on about things, what we're sort of getting here with it being, where he's saying like otherworldly and things, strange things go on, lights flicker and things are thrown across the table and whatever sort of thing is going on. Why am I sort of getting a feeling there's the clock has something to do with it? I wouldn't so much say the clock stops, because all clocks stops. All clocks stop. Actually, a stopped clock, as you know, is right twice a day, so you can't knock a stop clock. Can you? To some degree. Maybe that was another one of his sayings, I don't know, but that's a generic saying that a lot of people come out with anyway. That doesn't mean much, but what I'm sort of thinking is though he has an effect on the clock. If not the Salah, then certainly something from down below, a sort of down, you hear something downstairs when you're upstairs. Maybe that's the symbolic side of the Salah, I don't know. The writer still thinking, saying write the dream down, the love. I love you, Katie. Write down the dream when you dream about me, write it down, and then you can add all the bits together later on. A bit like how we're doing here, isn't it? With these Konxari cards. I want to move on now to the mediumship cards to see what message that Joel has for you. What your dad has for you there. Well, not your dad. It's your fiance's dad, isn't it? What he's got to say. So we're going to look at this. These other cards. I'm just going to take a sip, and I think we're going to, after, of course, I think I'll deserve a nice smoke of some black cherry pipe tobacco in my Sherlock Holmes original pipe there. So we'll just leave that there as has been for a while, and I'll just take a sip of a bit of lukewarm coffee as is now. But anyway, this is your time, Joel, and this is your time now to pass on a message, as you would say, a bit like a conversation. Let's see if any of the cards that come up, the mediumship cards, sort of tally with what we're sort of coming up, and see if we can sort of make any, I wouldn't say any sense out of, because we've sort of made some sense, haven't we, Katie? But maybe your fiance there, if he's there watching now, he can sort of take a look at what's going on in front of us here and see what's going on. I want to pull out a first card. Now I say first because normally I deal out 3 cards, a bit like a beginning, a middle and an end of a message, I suppose, because each card has a pre-written sentence on it. So I suppose you could call it a paragraph or something, or a statement or whatever. It's a bit like I say, beginning, middle and end. Let's just see what the first thing that Joel wants to say. This may be the most important thing of all. Very, very strange that, Joel, that you would say that, but you've said it anyway. Sorry, please forgive me. He's saying to you or to his fiancée or whatever. He's just saying sorry. Please forgive me. Clearly this may be having something to do with what's bothering him. I don't know if you see the possession card there, and maybe that's what's linked to it. The thing that's not so much possessed by the devil or anything, but certainly the devil within does have some effect upon that. But certainly he wants to reach out to you, and it's as if he is just saying sorry, please forgive me for whatever this is. He may feel he's done or hasn't done, of course, there, Joel. I don't know what you're apologising for. You can't apologise for growing too old, or can't apologise for love. You can't really, I suppose, apologise for maybe you have had a dream, a negative dream with him, and he's apologising for that. I don't know. I got a funny feeling he may be saying sorry, please forgive me about this. The thing that bothers me about the cellar when I was a boy, like the Freudian thing maybe going on, I don't know. But I do sort of sense as though the dream, he will speak to you in a dream and express his love, and write it down, keep a log, you know, date, time, and so forth, and keep a log or a dream journal, I suppose they call them. Well, he's apologising here. I want to pull out the next card now, Joel, to see what the next thing is. I suppose he's got it off his chest now. He's apologised there for whatever this is about. He's just saying that don't be afraid. Maybe because we shuffled the Konxari first of all, he's placing the energy here to say, I am sorry, please forgive me. Don't be afraid. Now at this point I don't know what, or correction, I don't know who he's saying this to. I don't know if he's saying this to you, Katie. I don't know if he's saying it to your fiance. I've got a funny feeling he's saying it to his son. I don't know why, but or even both of you. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I want to pull the next card just to see if we can link the next card to it there. I'm sorry, please forgive me. Don't be afraid. What of? What to be? Don't be afraid of what? Don't be afraid. My mind is free. Don't be afraid for me. Maybe that's what he's conveying there. Don't be afraid for me. My mind is free, as if my conscience is free. It's something I did when I was a boy. What's this? It's something I did when I was a boy, and I want to make amends. I don't know what that's. That's the only sort of thing. Yes, it's bothering me, and I'll speak to you in a dream about what was going on down in the cellar or what. But I've got a sort of feeling as though the cellar, as I said before, just recently there, is more of a sort of thing down there in the cellar, as in down there when you're upstairs, you hear things downstairs, as if it were down in the cellar, a sort of metaphorical cellar. If there is a cellar, of course, then maybe that is what it is. We can only sort of surmise to some degree on that. The clock, I'm still looking at the clock. I don't know why the clock face there. I'm sorry, please forgive me. Don't be afraid, my mind is free. The future, time, you have plenty of time in the future. That's what it seems to be saying, as if you've got plenty of time to put it right. Don't waste time, of course. It's a precious resource. You've got very little of it. You've got less of it than you have. What is this about? That's I'm sort of sensing there. I want to pull out another card, another mediumship card. I say 3 cards in the sense a minimum of 3, but I just see it sense as though, or feel as though, one more card has just got to come out here. Why, I don't know. I could be wrong. We could end up pulling out the whole deck, but I don't think so. He's just saying it is beautiful where I am. My mind is free. It's beautiful where I am. Basically, Katie, I'm in heaven. Basically, to paraphrase, yes, I am possessed or bothered about what went on down there. Forgive me for that. Don't be afraid about that. I just want you to know my mind is nevertheless free, and it's beautiful where I am now. It wasn't where I was before. What I'm sensing here is though something happened to him when he was a boy, and it's always bothered him. But now his mind is free. He's okay about it now. But he, nevertheless, he's still possessed by that, still bothered about it, but his mind is free about it, in the sense of he's bothered maybe that he didn't share it with you in some way, or he wasn't open enough. Maybe, please, I'm sorry, please forgive me, I wasn't open, I didn't share enough. And that's probably why I was a miserable old bugger. In the sense of, because I wouldn't say things. There's certain things on everybody's mind. Obviously my mind is free, he's saying. Maybe there's something on his mind there. Now his mind is free. That sort of links to the possession thing. Yes, it does bother me, but my mind is free now, in the sense of, it only bothers me because I was unable to, or I am still unable to convey, but now I am conveying that. Maybe this is a point where he is possessed in that sense about that, or possession in the sense, a possession maybe as in an object that he owned down there, down the cellar, or metaphorically, or whatever. Maybe he feels as though somebody else he's got it. What's this about somebody else he's got it and it's mine? But my mind is free about it. I'm okay about it. I'm in a better place now. That sort of crossed my mind then, just as I was thinking of that. But that could be actually it. I don't know. With this, I think what we're going to do, because you will know what Joel is saying to you there, and I hope that things work out. Maybe if and when we make that connection again, to see what's going on, and of course, what we'll do, we'll gather up Joel's cards, mediumship cards, the message that he's left, and we'll just place that neatly there in a nice neat pile there, and then we'll just get the rest of the deck and we'll just place that on top, and as we do, we just say, merry did we meet, merry do we part, and merry may we meet again. Blessed be to Joel and all absent friends. And we'll just pop that card, that deck of cards over there, just for now, because for every reading that I do, I always clear the deck of cards, whatever, each deck or decks after I've used them, to clear that. That's neither here nor there. We'll just leave that there because I want to deal them out again in just a moment. But first of all, what we're going to finally do now, Joel, as we do close the sitting, I'm going to gather the cards in the order that they were dealt, I suppose you could say, or reverse order then, or whatever. And we're just going to deal them out now here in front, so we can see if this leaves us some sort of message. First of all, we've got the number 9, so if you've got a pen or whatever, you can take a screenshot of this. Maybe. We've got the number 9, so you can just about see that there. The next card is the letter R. So we can just place that sort of on there. And then the one after that, we write down the letter T. There. And then the one after that is the letter J. So just pop that there. 9RTJ, and then another letter T. It could be a double T in what's being said, or whatever. I don't know. 9RTJ. T, and the final 3. Another letter R. Another letter R there. Could be a double R in what's being said. And of course, finally the letter Z. I don't know many letter Z's. T, get or Z, and the letter A. I don't know, can I just see my finger there? You can just about see that. So A, Z, R, T, J, T, R, 9. So you take a quick look at that, and just remember that that Joel's message was, in brief, I'm sorry, please forgive me. Don't be afraid, my mind is free. It is beautiful where I am. So hopefully that may, we'll just deal them out just there, just so you can just see what's going on. And the sort of order. I normally go from right to left, mainly because it's from far close to me. If I was sitting the other way, it would be dealt this way, wouldn't it really? Which I suppose is the way they should be dealt. So there is Joel's message. And all we can say now, we close the sitting. I don't know if have you taken enough time to write things down, to see if there's a hidden message here, what Joel is saying. So for now, we will now gather the cards up. But I'll gather them up myself in just a moment and leave you with them. But for now, we'll just say once again, Mary, Joel, Mary did we meet, Mary do we part, and Mary may we meet again. Blessed be to Joel and all absent friends. And to close the setting, we'll just visualise, imagine, close our eyes and just imagine a door wide open with a bright light coming through it. And as we do, we imagine that door closing, and as it closes very, very slowly there until it's closed, just a little jar, probably a speck of light coming through, and now it's closed completely, and the darkness returns. And as the darkness returns, we open our eyes again, and now we return back to this cruel, harsh world that we must draw our own breath in pain to tell our own story. And as Joel now is back in the Summerlands, we thank all absent friends, and blessed be to Joel and all absent friends, and that's for now. These cards have spoken.